Welcome to the PIXI Gaming Podcast, your place for in-depth breakdowns of characters, video games themselves, and how they make me, my guests, and all of us feel. And today is the weekly, every other PIXI Partner Up Podcast. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know how many weeks we've done it every other weekly now, but I still seem to think it's weekly. But welcome, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, really well, mate. Really good.
Very good.
Very fun day. So,
as always, well, this time we've put a little bit more effort into our PIXI Partner Up.
No, yeah,
than we have in the last other couple. So we will get into that a little bit later on, but we'll start off as we always do with what's in play on this day. And as we mentioned last week, we're going to sort of talk quite a lot about what you've been up to, basically.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so obviously we were talking about Apex last time. I didn't have much time to play it. This time is obviously totally different now. I've had plenty of time. I've put a lot of time into Apex. So I'm playing a lot of ranked.
Right,
it's given a bit of, competitive edge, stuff like that to it. I've been playing with randoms, playing with friends, doing a bit of everything. So, I find out I do better with randoms. That's a problem,
Oh, really? See, I find the absolute opposite.
Total opposite. I don't know. If they've got mics, I'm all right. Like, I can get chatting to them. We get add-in. I was playing with a guy last night. We did all right. Didn't get the win. Got second.
Nice.
Second at like 4, something like that. But, the ranked is really taking me at the moment really strongly.
Totally,
why.
I can't stop thinking about it.
It's something to play towards, you know. It's giving you that edge.
Properly like carrot on a stick. Like you're just chasing that goal, aren't you? Constantly,
literally.
It's that one more game thing that everybody gets. Everybody gets that's ever played an online game or even just an offline game that's addictive. Like you get that. Oh, just have one more game, or I'll just give this one more go, or whatever. And it's like because you think, oh, I've only got it's only 10 more points, and you realise that's 10 more games.
And you get experience as well, because obviously before they didn't have much to work towards, sort of thing. But now they're giving you loads, with the Season Pass 2 coming out, all that sort of stuff. I'm just, really enjoying it. It's
a few questions for you for Apex, right?
Fire away.
Question 1, obviously last week we spoke a tiny bit about Apex Season 2 starting and so on and so forth. So question 1 from me will be, how are you finding the map?
Yeah, really good. They've changed a lot of the parts, and obviously adding those 2 dino things in them, really good. It's actually given... Not that I've got anything under the feet yet or anything like that. I haven't been risky enough to go under there because I've just seen people die straight away. So unless you're right next to it, you're not getting it. But the looks of it, it's quite... Well, you have to be pretty quick. The map's really good. I'm enjoying it. There's not really much that's changed in regards of just new areas, really. They've added stuff to the areas. You've still got Skull Town, you've still got all of that, but they've added...
so do you like it? So, I think where the dinosaur is, that's like... Because there's one here and then there's one sort of over to the right, and right around them, everywhere around them is like new areas, effectively. So there's a bit right in the middle of the map that used to be reasonably boring. There was just like a couple of houses in the river, and is now like all broken down. Do you like the new sort of buildings that have been uncovered and all that kind of stuff?
Great, like little science labs. They look like
some
of them, and
obviously
cool, dragons caged up. And I've seen that you can actually shoot dragons now that are just around.
Yes.
And they've dropped purple boxes, blue or whatever. So obviously I'm picking them off when I can, doing all that. It's adding a bit more extra to the game.
I really like the changes in the map. I really like the fact that although you're in the same areas, it feels really fresh.
Yeah, very fresh.
It feels like you're doing somewhere new. So question 2 is probably, how are you finding the guns? So what guns are you rolling towards at the moment?
I think I'm going all automatic at the moment. Obviously, I think I said my favourite loadout was like a Spitfire with a carbine, something along those lines. I'm now loving the Select Fire with Prowler.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, heavy rounded SMG is pretty solid. It's really good, and I'm getting with the R99, so I'm going like all submachine guns at the moment.
Right. Okay. So what about the RE45 and I forget the other one, but they've got that new skull point, the new hop up. Have you used that much or not?
I've used it, but only once. But you did notice a difference. The power from it, like a lot of people now are saying the alternator with the disruptor rounds.
Alternator. Oh my god,
alternator!
Like
next level.
I just ruin people with it all the time. Anytime I look at them, they're dead.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's ridiculous. Like that, and surprisingly, mate, the Mozambique. Every time I see a Mozambique, mate, I pick it up now because the second you get that hop up, everyone's a 2 3-shot kill. Really? So like literally, you get close enough, and even if they're quite far away, literally, it's literally like that. It's like proper crazy, and like that with the RE45. But really, I like to run the heavy one that's like a sniper rifle. It's like one shot.
Hemlock one. Oh, the longbow. Yeah.
Longbow, and an RE. What was it? Alternator. Yeah. So those 2 are the 2 that I like to run because alternator just ruins even peacekeepers up front, up close. It's just like really, really quick.
Yeah.
Smashes through the shield. But what I did notice as well is that with the Mozambique, the hop up is supposed to be for people without shields. So if you have a shield on the if you have a shield, use your like RE45 or alternator, and that smashes through shield really quickly. Then it's supposed to swap to the other one that then smashes through health quickly. Yeah. Okay. But I noticed that literally the second their shield's gone, I just ruin them in seconds with the alternator anyway.
GG.
Yeah. So you've been playing ranked modes.
Ranked a lot.
So what's your ranking?
It's only like bronze 1. I haven't won. I've won 1 game. It's bad. It's crap.
So I'm currently rocking a gold 4, mate. Well, literally been smashing it out. Like it was really tough. I played last night. I played quite a few games, and managed to get myself. I think about halfway to gold 3 now.
Nice.
But it's harder on gold because it's 2 entry points.
But it's the matchmaking as well that I've liked about it. Obviously, like in this game, I'm still learning a lot. I think like a lot of people are, unless you've played it solid. So like obviously matchmaking with players that they say are in your like play skill level tree, whatever you want to say, is quite nice because it makes the game fairer. You know, some of the gunfights I am coming into, I'm like, Christ, they're crap. So obviously I've been at a low level at the moment. I'm feeling a bit stronger than some of the players, and they're literally like, Christ, they're awful shot. So obviously it is helping, and then once I hopefully get up higher and higher, it's going to be like, Christ, you can't miss a shot, sort of thing.
What I've noticed as well is as I've got higher, the skill levels of players are much higher. Although
I can imagine,
I wish that was the case with my teammates. But literally, like most people are they know what they're doing, and games seem to be a little slower. So like people are a little bit more reserved and hold back and stuff like that.
Snipers
but
being used a lot
you dare shoot your gun, and you will have 4 teams on you. The amount of third party that happens, the higher you get, is just unreal. Like I can't imagine what it'll be like at like platinum and stuff like that if I ever get there. Because literally, because people
they
just
want
like
because
people are weak third party, and you just have to dive on that opportunity all the time.
Yeah,
although 100%. Half the time I'm trying to dive on it. Like I put up a video on Twitter of these guys I was with, and they're just going up one of those pylons. You know, like the zip wires or whatever, and then just floating back down, and then going up again and floating back down. 2 of them and I'm just there. Why am I stuck with these people? I'm on ranked mode. And literally, I'm like, right, so then I'm like running around by myself then. Just like, what can I do? Do you know what I mean?
Man army. Here we go,
so,
boys.
I'm absolutely loving Apex Season 2. 100%. I think it's everything that the game needed to sort of take it to the next level now. And I think it can only build upon this. This is what Season 1 definitely should have been.
Yeah,
I think, I think maybe they were underprepared for it.
Feedback, they get stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they just
doing something about
it.
it.
They had to gauge the popularity as well. So now they know it's popular. They know that people are going to buy it and buy the stuff like that. Have you bought the season pass?
I haven't yet.
No, I haven't yet.
Well, just adding on, like basically now this will be the time where I think until FIFA all that comes out, and the new obviously year whatever,
and the
I think I'll be playing Apex every time. Like FIFA's dead now, so obviously next game would be FIFA, but. Hardly doing anything with that now.
No, not doing anything.
Do the SBCs, that's about it.
What do you think of the daily challenges in Apex?
Yes,
you doing them?
Love them, yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
I remember coming and playing at yours, and obviously just being able to play different characters, it sort of makes you play different characters for XP. You know, Caustic, like people don't play. Gibraltar, having a buff and all this stuff, they're like, oh, and it's really good. It's making you can sort of then maybe get a gauge of all characters, rather than me now, I'm going like one character, because I want to do well.
Yeah, so who is your character currently?
It's Lifeline. I have tried Watson, and I've played a lot with Watson. I don't think I can get her ulti down. Like when to use it, really, I really struggle. I'm like, okay, and then it recharges shields, but the ultimate accelerant does it in one go.
I usually try because I've been like majorly into Watson. I've got 7 wins with Watson so far.
Nice,
and she's just like absolutely perfect for me because I like, especially early doors, I'm starting to learn how to use it better now. So, like, initially late game and stuff, like, if we were, like, hiding in a building or anything, like, I whack my thing down and whack all the, like, doors up and stuff. What I'm noticing now is if you're going, like, a hot drop or whatever, like, start putting shields down different places. So, like, as I run through a door, I'm just whacking stuff behind me. So, you know that middle thing, the thing in the middle that people always put the caustic things down in? That place. So, the second I go down there, even if I don't go in there, I'll just like, if I see loads of people run ahead of me, I'll just put loads of stuff down. And I was starting to like, the way I'm putting them down, not putting them down just straight like this anymore. I'm putting them like zigzaggy and stuff like that. So like that, so they're like really hard to like get past and stuff like that. So I'm trying to rock with that. But yes, Watson, really like her. I like her little French accent and that. And she's quite a cool little character or whatever.
Yeah, no.
She's like, I like a spark or whatever she says. So we also mentioned we were going to talk about another shooter is Battlefront.
Yes.
Do you play Battlefront in third person or first person? Interesting.
Very true, yeah. I actually play it in first person because
weird. See, when I played Battlefront,
third person,
when I played Battlefront, I wanted to play it in first person straight away because I was like, this is obviously what I want to do because I'm a first person kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I noticed that when I played third person, I played a million times better because I could just see more.
I agree with you because I've recently been playing third person. I've given it a go because obviously, like you say, the first one I don't think I had a choice. I think it had to be. And obviously, coming from first person shooters to go into third person was a big change. The only other third person I think I'd played was Gears of War.
Okay,
so
right, yeah.
You know, you can peer over stuff. So obviously, going to third person was different. But again, like you say, you can see a lot more. It's surprising what you can actually see. Because, you know, PUBG was one of those where I had the choice as well.
Yeah.
Always played that third person because you needed to see around corners, and it was like it's not cheating, but it was just that give you that edge, you know, give that extra. So I'm definitely enjoying it. It's a really good game. But again, it's an old game in it, you know. So there's not as many games as you can find in Apex as you're finding on Call of Duty still. Yeah. So it's one of those where you do have to sometimes wait to get into
it's because it's not as popular as it was, kind of thing.
Of course, it's one of those.
And I'd be surprised if it wasn't on Game Pass, how unpopular it'd be then.
Yeah,
you know, because obviously people get it on Game Pass. So I bet that bumped the numbers up of the servers and stuff like that. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm interested. As I've mentioned before, I was interested in going back to Star Wars, but I don't think I will really. I think it's just something that's it's passed me by now. But obviously, it's gearing you. You like first-person shooters, and it's gearing you into the new first-person shooters and stuff. And I was just going to talk to you to see if you had seen the new Modern Warfare gameplay.
I haven't seen the gameplay.
Really good. Really, really cool. Like, not only is it like mentally good graphics, so like even when you chuck a stun and stuff, you can see like dust in the air and stuff like that. Like, it's really, really good looking. But it's got this really cool new like 2-on-2 mode, but it's like a 2-on-2 battle royale. So like you both start. So like me and you this side of the map, and two other guys this side, and there's guns between us. And you start without guns, so you run, and you could like run to the nearest gun, which is most likely a pistol, and then in the middle there'll be like bigger, harder guns. So you got to try and like work your way to the middle, really. So like I was watching this guy who was playing this live stream of it, and he was like running in, and he was like picking up a stun and chucking it straight over the top, straight away, trying to grab the guys the other side. And they're all like really tight in like
really close map.
Yeah, like. And I can imagine that being really, really fun online. Because like what ended up happening was they were like getting really tactical about it. You know, they were like communicating a lot and stuff like that. Like, oh, come right side. Like, we're taking them down, chucking my stuns down, like, and like being really careful with like their ammo consumption and everything like that is really, really cool. And I like the fact that it's like, you know, usually in the likes of COD, you start off with your class or whatever, don't you? And you know where you are, and know what you're doing. But this is that little more like raw kind of. It's like splicing up original COD gameplay of like tight, small maps with Battle Royale, where there's that luck element still of like, wow, I only picked up a pistol and he got me, or whatever, you know.
Needing what? Yeah,
it's super, super cool. You should check it out. But it just made me even more excited for the likes of the fact that obviously we'd be able to do that then. Because obviously it's totally cross-platform as well, which is like revolutionary for a COD game as well. Yes. Uniting the two consoles, that's for sure. Obviously not with PC because they can aim way better, so they won't be on the same servers.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, they won't be on the same servers. But it's just interesting because I just wondered if you'd seen that. But you should check that out.
I'll definitely be looking at that tonight, for sure.
What else was it we were going to talk about? FIFA? No.
FIFA's, yeah, it's gone, mate. Honestly, literally just gone. It's just one of those. I feel like I'm forcing myself to play it now.
Oh, really?
I'm just, you know, like when they're bringing out the stuff on Ultimate Team with the new squad building challenges, like no one's buying packs. The market's down. You can't even like do sniping and anything like that. So it's all just. Everyone's like
proper
closed up. It's
closed up shop. Till
next
they have,
season, mate, and everyone knows that, and they're waiting for the next one until next time. The next one, then I'll play it. But you know, this is where the Apex time and stuff comes in. So,
so yeah, it'll be interesting to know next week where we are in ranked again. I said last week that we check out where we were in ranked,
not look too bad.
And see if you've caught me up by then, because I don't know how quickly I'll go through gold now, because now I've got to this higher stage. It's like the competition is clearly better and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I'd expect you to catch me up by next week or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see where we are and whether you're still liking it and stuff like that. There's something about, like, obviously, as I've mentioned before, Battle Royale and it being something that like is so, there's so much tangible and there's so much luck involved, and there's so much like every scenario you're in is totally different. Like the other day I was thinking to myself, I was in a house and I had someone on top of me, like a whole team on top of me, and a whole team attacking me to the north straight ahead. And I thought to myself, like, this whole scenario and the way it's working, all the tangibles that are in there, like what is there, how are they with their ammo, where are they with their life and stuff like that, like where are my teammates placed, and everything you got to think about all like split second in the moment.
That's the
thing. It's like that's what makes games like this so interesting and keep you going and keep you interested.
Agree.
And I'd keep playing it if it was just Battle Royale, but the fact that he's now put ranked in, it's just completely blown out of the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else for it about Apex before we
I'm all
sort
good,
of carry
I'm
on?
all good.
And lastly, I've bought a couple of games just recently for the Switch, and one of the games is Mario Tennis Aces. Now, last week, in between me and Luke playing Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which is what we're doing on PIXI Partner Up today, we also done a quick couple of games of Mario Tennis Aces, and there's been a rivalry between the two of us. Now, I bought the game thinking I'd be able to take my friends on it and stuff like that, and you're quite clearly better than me at the moment.
At the moment.
And I'm thinking it's just one of those games where like it's like real tennis, like there's that kind of one-on-one, there's that one-on-one, like with Mario Kart and stuff like that, and even Smash Bros is like a little bit of luck in there and stuff like that. This is like far more kind of skill-based and stuff like that.
I agree.
And once you started learning how to do stuff and stuff like that was pretty cool. But what did you think of it? What did you think of Mario Tennis Aces?
Well, like I said, like I'm looking at getting some Switch games if I get my own, and that was definitely on there. That was so fun, nice and quick. And I had like a story mode for a tennis game. It's like something I've never seen. It's normally it's just like really serious, and this was good fun. You had special moves, you had stuff like that, and I think
it was like zany and Mario-y.
It was really arcadey. That's what I'd go for, and arcade games are so. And
fun. You can do like so you can like knock it back and forth as you would in a normal like tennis game, but you get like special powers.
Yes.
Where like if someone knocks the ball too far to the left and you wouldn't be able to get it, you can like hold the right thumbstick and you do this like slow down time thing and you get there or whatever, which is super cool. But yeah, we'll play a little bit more of that, but it will be in the next PIXI Championship, that game.
Yes, definitely.
So it's definitely will be good fun for that. But is that everything, mate? Any other little zany games?
Nothing else to play.
Like
working a lot. Standard.
Yeah, no worries.
Chilling out.
Well, we'll catch up with Luke next week on what's in play on this day. But now we'll move on to PIXI Partner Up. Welcome back to the PIXI Game Podcast, and now we enter the PIXI Partner Up segment, in which I don't know why with these new mics, mate. Maybe you want to hold it.
You hold it, lift it,
that's
do a thing with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nice, mate.
Yeah, maneuverable. You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Totally.
I like it.
Apart from if you scratch them along the thing, it makes a horrible noise, so we've got to be careful with them. Anyway, PIXI Partner Up, and this week we're doing Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which was a little indie game.
I'd give it indie game.
It's like you play as two little characters and you're in a spaceship, and in this spaceship you're like tiny, you're quite small, like I'd say like Mario size.
Yeah,
maybe smaller than that, and you like run around this little ship, and it's very very easy, simple controls.
Very simple.
And you basically have to operate different parts of it. So the ship's a big sphere, and then you like run up, and you got like 4 guns around the outside, and it's a bit like the Millennium Falcon, in Star Wars, when he's like run and get on the guns, and you got to go and do different things, and you can control a shield. You can control an engine that moves it. You can control different cannons,
and you got the map. And then obviously
the map as well, because you can go on the map.
Yeah.
So we wrote down a load of notes about it, as we always do. And this time, so one of the things we wrote down was like the same core gameplay all the way through. So like the gameplay was really like smooth and relaxing.
It was very smooth, aimed at everybody. I think like it was very simple. It wasn't too difficult to pick up. Like we picked up, never touched anything like it.
And even weirdly enough, sorry to interrupt you, but today we just jumped straight back on it on like handheld here just before we started the podcast, and we just picked the controls straight back up, like literally, like
it's probably 2 buttons max with the analogs.
Yes, yeah. So you use the analog to move up and down, then pretty much it's just A to sort of activate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh no, and B to shoot. Or square. It'll be it's weird on the Switch. It's always weird on the Switch. So always try and make it the same as PlayStation. So like square would be your shoot button, and X would be your like activate button.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, but it was really interesting actually, the gameplay, and it was like it starts off and you're thinking this is quite simple and quite easy, but I think with a lot of these games that we've found, like much like Overcooked, Overcooked actually plays in a very similar way in terms of the controls. So it's just like simple controls, you can move around, you can do this, but then all of a sudden your tasks become wider and more vast.
Where you need them,
which is exactly what happened in this as well, because like this was like Overcooked, where like you get into it. It's Shannon playing Overwatch around my house all the time, making me Overwatch on the brain. But we were playing Overcooked, and we go to these little areas and do these little things. But then, as it got more like intense, like this game did as well,
God,
so
some of the like enemies and stuff just got more difficult. You had to do certain things to expose them. Oh god, it's mad.
That was super cool. So another thing, as you mentioned, the enemies. So like as you're going through, you get attacked by different sort of aliens. Like some of them are like the ones at the start are really simple and stuff like that.
You'd shoot them 2 bullets dead.
Yeah.
And it just obviously got more difficult as you went on. And then like I said, some had armor, some didn't.
Yeah.
Some would be like shoot massive cannons, shoot 5 at a time, and you were like, yeah, all right. It literally got to that point in some games where we were just like, well, we're going to lose here, and you'd go straight through the middle of a lot of them.
Yep.
I mean, I was driving most of the time. So
and it's weird how the different parts of the ship played into different ways we'd like get around
how
the enemies.
We played it, yeah.
So
definitely.
like sometimes Luke was our master navigator and driver. So not only would he use the map, but he'd also use the
engine in the middle.
The engine. Most of the time, actually, I was stuck to the shield. So like I'd use the shield, and then Luke would sort of navigate us the way through it. And like sometimes there'd be a big enemy, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, it's coming up!" And Luke would just scoot on straight by it. You jump on a gun and fire it, but you just scoot on straight by it. So one of the options is you can just maneuver your way around the enemies.
Yes.
Another way, because there was times where like they shoot rockets at you, and these like rockets do really big damage to your health. And there was times where Luke would just be like, the rocket would be coming like this, and then Luke would just scoot out of the way, and they would just sliver on by next to us. But it was really tight. Other things we've got written down is like different scenarios. So like you had different sort of, you're in space. So there's like rocks and stuff everywhere and stuff like that. So like there's physical obstacles as well as like enemies and stuff like that, which was cool. And then each sort of different place you had to find these little bunnies.
Yes, so that was it. I think it was like hostages, if you will. So we had to save those, and I think you had to get 6 a map, 5 a map, something like that. But obviously where you've said different like scenarios, I think there was one we did. So obviously it was moving around the map with all the obstacles, stuff like that. And then it went to like a wave, didn't it? We went to one level where it was just waves of
that
those
was
enemies.
so
Do you remember
cool.
those?
Yeah, that was
they were really
cool.
good actually, because you had to work because you were set in one position.
Just to sort of give a bit of context on it. We went into this like kind of vortex thing that went into our. Hold on, I'm being wrong. Just bear with me. Hey, Amy, okay? If you can hear me, the camera broke, but it's all right now. We're filming again. Love you, bye. Sorry, Amy was calling us. We had a bit of a disaster with the camera, so we called on our expert for help, but we worked out, me and Shan, no problem. So we went through a vortex, and we were in this like sort of weird kind of like black hole kind of thing.
Yeah, like
and
Milky Way getting taken somewhere. It felt like
that was it.
Definitely.
And then that so then all the different enemies attacked us really.
And it was different waves. That's what I like, because like you said, it was nice to have the same gameplay but with a different scenario around it. You know, it wasn't just navigate, pick these up. It was Christ, okay, we've got to survive 12 waves of enemies now, which was very different because I think we'd had to use the guns then. That you couldn't avoid them. You had to kill them, and then next wave come. So I really enjoyed that aspect.
And as before though, you're like the gameplay's a little bit more like moving around the map.
Yeah, definitely.
And like taking it a bit more like you
discovering.
It's like discovery rather than this was like you're stood still and you're being attacked from all around. Another thing that happened, or another thing we wrote down, that was like something that really impacted us, was the choice. So as these aliens are coming at you and as these different scenarios are happening, you have a choice constantly of what is your best option at that moment.
100%. I mean, I think we felt you on the shield and with driving through was the best for us, but obviously if you had 4 you might have manned the 2 left right guns, the up and down gun. It was really good. I think it allowed you to just sort of experiment really. I mean, we experimented a lot. We were like, okay, right, one of us just got on a gun with the direction we're going in, and then obviously direct that way. That was quite hard because you had a lot coming at you. So obviously with the shield I think it helped just give like a mass area to your ship.
More so for yourself than me, I think, because I sort of tend to stayed in like the bottom sort of quarter of the ship where like I run up to the gun and then I run down to the shield really, and I try and like, even if you were going to different things, I'd try and sort of move the shield to where you were to try and help you out. But you specifically were way more diverse in the way that you moved around it and stuff like that. So what came into your mind as you were going around it?
Around the map or just around the ship?
Around the ship, I mean. So like as different things were coming, one minute you'd be like, oh, I'm going to move. The next minute you were like, I'm going to get the big cannon. Then you were like, you know,
you
were
watched
like
the
really
mini map, so obviously there were little orange dots. So I think it was more like I'd go in one direction, and then I knew I was protected from you, so I'd jump on the gun, kill it, move on, and then if there's something behind us, one thing we did quite well was you would basically say there was a big bunch of enemies top left, you'd set the shield up there and then jump on the gun and kill the ones around us, because you know we're in a big circular ship, we can get taken from everywhere. So obviously I think that worked well as well. We like used what we had to our disposal, if you will, and utilised it really well when there was only 2 of us playing. With the choices though, with IAD, it was basically just run and gun, hope for the best, get there as quick as we can.
Yeah. Another thing we wrote down was there was an event that happened that, like, so one of the things that I will continue to battle on about is that me and Luke always want to try and capture these moments where like something happens where both of us look at each other after, like, what the hell was that? Whether it's a good thing or whether it's something that completely blows us out. So this was the atomic bomb. So all of a sudden, right, Luke shoots this thing. There's like this big canister. And he shoots it like you would anything else. So you've been shooting everything else through the whole time.
Else for the game.
And then next minute it just goes...
We were out running an atomic bomb at one point.
Yeah, and there's like this green wave of like atomic energy coming at you, and Luke was just like, "Oh fuck, here we go!"
Literally just shouting at this telly, this little bloody indie game. Going to the
definitely.
left.
You were like, "Oh, get in the ship, get in the ship, get out of
there!"
Yeah, and there was nothing I could do because he was in control of the ship, so I was just like, "Oh," I was just like looking around, like, "Oh god, I didn't know what to do." That was super intense.
That was weird, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing we've got written down is varied enemies that we've already sort of spoken about and gone into. So we'll go into like our individual segments that we always break down. And number one is obviously split screen. How did you feel on that?
That was really nice. It was really nice. Obviously playing on the telly compared to the handheld was a lot better, just more space. And it didn't feel clumpy or anything like that. There was plenty of room to actually see where you were going. One thing I noticed that was that you could punch your own player off the guns. I did that to you a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not knowing, but again, it didn't affect anything on the screen. It was all like really fun.
But once again, if you're in a scenario where, like, I think this game would be quite fun if you were playing with your girlfriend or something like that, or any kind of friend at all, really, because it doesn't take much. It's like easy to learn, impossible to master kind of thing. So it's like, even if we were in a scenario where there was 4 of us, I can imagine they're like, someone would be on the ship and be like, "Oh, what am I doing?" And you'd be like, "Get off! I can do it. I know how to do it." Like that kind of thing, which is really interesting. But the split screen for me was absolutely fine. You're all on the same screen.
Perfect, yeah.
Any of these kind of same screen games, we seem to be preferring to actually split in the screen at the moment. So that'll be interesting to see whether we come across any split screens that genuinely sort of match up to those.
Yeah, that's true.
So how was the co-op utilised?
Everywhere. It literally was everywhere because, like I said, with the 2 of us, we had a lot more to control. We had 8 different units, if you will, to control between the 2 of us. So, running 4 each, 1 in 2 and a 6, whatever you wanted to look at it. And I feel that I don't know, it did it really well. And in regards of how we worked it with the shield and what gun we were using at the time, I think we communicated quite a lot, actually. It was like, all right, I'm going up top, you go to the left. We had to talk.
And you had to react. You had to react together. And you couldn't, like, I could run and grab the shield and stop people from attacking us from a certain direction.
Yes.
But if I hadn't had you come up with me and shoot the gun from that area, then I'd be useless. All I'd be doing is defending us. I couldn't actually attack as well. So you needed each other and you needed that kind of 100%. Stuff, which plays in obviously to another one of our things, which was, did I need him?
Yeah.
Of course we needed each other all the time. We needed each other. It was absolutely desperate.
Brilliant.
It was so bloody cool. Like I love that. Like it was everything that personifies this part of the podcast, this segment that we've created of like needing to communicate with each other, having those moments of thanking each other for being there in that moment, and just you're both sat on the same sofa and you're both just having a great time, and obviously that's and it's really, really right up there. So we move on to, we've spoken quite a lot about the gameplay. The gameplay is really simple but also quite hard later on.
Yes,
we took on some. Yeah, literally same wavelength. I literally was just about to say we took on a big boss.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? How did that?
That was good because it utilized one massive enemy and he had different attacks, but he was so big he could get around you. So you had to like, I don't know, basically predict where he was going to attack. That that was something different we hadn't dealt with.
And it was cool because I remember one specific moment which stands out as a real co-op moment was that the big boss went down in the bottom right hand side, and I moved the shield to there, and then Luke was on a gun down there. And then I went down on another gun because he was so big that he took like loads and loads of hits. So I went down there as well. And then actually he teleported and moved up to the top right-hand side. And Luke then dynamically moved because he was closer to the shield and went to the shield and moved the shield up there. And then I went up and moved the cannon and shot the cannon, which is like all the things that are happening in that very moment is like everything that personifies, co-op gameplay and that like especially in the same place on the same sofa kind of thing, which is
definitely.
Yeah, that moves us on to overall rating, I think, of what has been a fantastic game, mate. Fantastic.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. For when we were looking for it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll give it a go. And I wasn't expecting big things. Indie games are one of these games that you do have to try before you buy. You really have to give it a go. And like we had a good session on it, and we really enjoyed ourselves, mate. We were laughing away through it, just having a good day, really.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd I'm giving it high. I'm going to go probably around a 9.5. I'll give it a 9.5. You know.
Yeah, and myself, I mean, like I say, there was no. I think the only thing that is making it so strong for me is that there wasn't any negatives. So there wasn't quite often, even in the better games we've played, we've still found something that was annoying, and something that like this shares with Overcooked and with our other really high game, which was Broforce, is the fact that none of them had like a down point. No, they didn't have something that was like, oh, this is really like, oh, it was really really great, but wasn't it annoying when this happened? And there was no negativity from us this whole time now, so that makes me want to give it high. So I'm going to give it on par with my highest rated game ever, which is Broforce, and I'm going to give it 9.8. Definitely. So it's my highest rated, effectively on par with my highest rating so far. Jesus. Although I probably should have given Overwatch a 9.8, but I thought I only gave Broforce a 9. But, you know. Oh, well. So there we are. That's Love is in a Dangerous Space Time. Now, we mentioned earlier on in the podcast that we played a game called Mario Tennis Aces.
We certainly did.
Next week, we will be doing Mario Tennis Aces together and seeing what we're like as a doubles team.
Oh, wow. This could be interesting.
Yeah, see if we can take over the world of Mario Tennis Aces together.
That'd be sick.
That will be PIXI Partner up next week. And, it's been very, very good. And this has been Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. And we move on now to the weird and wonderful world of Rise Randoms. Welcome back to the PIXI Game Podcast, and now we enter the weird and wonderful world of Rise Randoms. Now, I try and hit you with something completely different, Luke, each time.
All the time.
Last week, we've done a blindfold, and we've done all kinds of zany stuff. Yeah. Now, I want to create something this week that we're going to use again in the future. Okay, so it's a little game that's going to be a part of Rise Randoms for me and you going forward. Nice. Not necessarily all the time. Like I probably won't do it again now for another few weeks or whatever, or whatever it may be. But I've created a game called 60-Second Par.
Right.
So you have to get par on the category I've created in 60 seconds.
Right.
So I need to get my phone ready in a minute with 60-second clock, and I need to get what the forfeits are going to be. So we've got two different things. So for example, the first one is, or in fact, I won't use the first one because you can think about it then. No, I'm not going to do that to myself.
Oh, great.
So it would be name GTA games, say, in 60 seconds. I will set a number that is your par. Oh, no. If you get par, you get a treat. If you get below par, you get a
forfeit.
A forfeit.
Oh,
but
God, I got no hope.
You're playing against me. So if you get par, I get the forfeit. And if you get below par, then I get a treat.
It's like playing the dealer.
Yes, exactly. No. Yeah, okay, so it's a bit like that. So I'm going to go get everything ready now, and we'll be right back in just a couple seconds. Welcome back to PIXI Game Podcast. And now the forfeits are going to be food-based, and we've got one of Luke's favourites, which is just some nice salted peanuts as the treat. And for the forfeit, we've got some courgette raw with ginger paste on top. Okay. Me and Amy just went into Tesco and just thought, it's grim. It's grim. I wish I hadn't done it, and I wish I hadn't included myself in it. But here we are. Now I've got each individual one. I've also written a par score next to them, and I'll allow you to sort of know what the par score is, and then you can try and sort of keep count yourself if you want. But what we'll do is, as they're quite hefty chunks, if you can't eat the whole thing, then just eat a bite of it. I obviously need to do that as well, potentially. But hopefully you get everything wrong, and then I'm all right.
Bringing back time.
Okay, so we may need to Google any facts, so if that's the case, then we'll stop the video and carry on. So, number one, mate, is name as many Nintendo Wii games as possible. Nintendo Wii, not Nintendo Wii U. And your par is 6, and your time starts now.
You got Wii Sports. Rayman. Oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. Gone. Mate, I didn't even play the Wii. This is annoying. I've got one. Oh, I'm eating some courgette. No, I've got. Technically, I could go Call of Duty.
There was a Call of Duty on there. You're lucky.
Call of Duty. I don't know which
so you're on 2 so far.
2. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I have 30. Jesus Christ, FIFA. 17.
Was it? Okay.
FIFA was definitely on Wii.
Okay.
What was that? Well, the Smash Bros, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any more. I didn't even play the Wii that much.
Hurry up.
I can't. I haven't got one. I need 2.
You need 2 in 8 seconds, or I'm the winner.
I'm going to eat some courgette. gone. I can't think of the Wii.
Ooh. Mate, that's like Wii Sports Resort. Oh, there we are. Wii Sports. Oh, Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports Resort is one of them. Wii Fit Trainer. Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy. Stuff like that. Anyway, mate. I'm yet to taste these. I mean, I didn't taste it pre-show or anything like that. Chef. I think so. Is it grim? Is it grim? Is it grim? No. No. Is it grim? Oh, he's gone. You better fail this next one, mate, because I ain't having none of that. You can pause it if you want to. Okay, we're back now.
Oh, Christ.
And we continue. Right. The next one is name as many gaming characters as possible, and your par is 15.
And that's any character.
Any character in any game. Okay,
yeah.
Go.
Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Waluigi, Wario.
Wow.
Link, Zelda, Gandalf, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, Soap.
Nice.
Ratchet Clank.
Nice.
Jack Daxter.
Yep.
What game should we go on to? That's all I need, isn't it?
No, you got 10. You got 5 more to go, mate.
I had 15.
Was it 15?
I had 15.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Sound. I tell you one thing you've done is you made that really seem appealing. You know.
I'm so sorry about that. Nah.
Is it grim?
It just feel right in your mouth.
Okay. All right. We'll find out.
No.
You don't want me to do it? Is it making you feel ill me doing it?
Don't.
Okay. Oh, I tell you what I didn't have last time.
Oh,
just
peanuts.
I didn't have
Save
my
for
treat.
After. Save for after.
Save for after?
Yeah, trust me.
Okay. All right, you have your treat, mate.
Oh, yes.
Buzzing. Okay.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Why is it so sweet?
You're loving it. Look at you. Oh, yeah. Nah, that's weird, mate.
It tastes like vinegar.
You actually ate
it. Oh, God, that's grim.
That's fucking horrible.
That's bitter.
Oh, it's the courgette, mate. Don't go well with that ginger paste, I'll tell you. I won't be having that. Oh, dear.
Right.
Nailed it.
Okay. It's all right, mate. You know, some of us can just step up.
Handle it, yeah, mate.
You know? Right, we move on to number 3, mate, which is name as many PS1 titles as you possibly can. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Rayman. You've got Abe's Odyssey.
Nice.
FIFA 97.
Wow. How many is that?
I'm not going to use FIFA all the time. Oh, crap. 3. That's 3.
Okay.
PS1 titles. What did I used to play on PS1? Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And I probably should play a lot of Crash Bandicoot.
Nice. Well, there we are.
Thank God for that.
That only took you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And now I have to go back to this place now. I'm afraid.
Maybe it's courgettes I don't like then.
No, this stuff, whatever this is, ginger paste, is not okay. That is not all right.
Weird,
that is like, it's like ginger chutney or something.
I think you're supposed to make it with stuff, mate. Like...
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, that's...
I made it look worse than it should have been now.
No, because...
It's just weird.
When you're not chasing out with a peanut, mate, it's not quite as appealing. Right.
A peanut.
We move on to the last one.
Oh, come on, Luke.
Oh, yeah, you got a treat. Buzzing. The last one is name as many Zelda games as possible. Yeah, Par's 5 this time. So
5? There's only like 5 anyway, isn't there? No, it's not.
Right.
Not anymore.
We start. Let's go.
Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
What's the one on GameCube? Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. Wind Waker.
Oh dear. Okay, this is worrying me now.
And oh no! Oh, I'm gonna lose on the last one.
You reckon?
Majora's Mask. All through the time. It's gonna be really obvious as well.
Yeah, you could go with literally the simplest.
Oh, the first one, Legend of Zelda.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty much a clue I gave you then. Right.
Oh, here we go.
There we are. Last one.
You've done well, mate.
Yeah, all right, I think. Given that I created something that was going to torture you and I've tortured myself.
I would have been sick, mate, if I had any more. Right? You've done really well.
That's how quickly you've done it, mate.
I'll be a bad. I can't say I like Zelda.
Okay, there we are. That's this week's Rise Randoms, mate. I'll hit you or myself.
Mate, if we're doing that again, I'm
or perhaps myself with something completely different next week.
Mate,
I didn't plan for that to backfire quite as much as it did, but I know next time to maybe prepare a little differently, make it a little bit harder for you.
If you look, yeah. I'm not going to tell you because you'll fucking do it.
No, that's it. That's it. You can't do that to yourself. But there we are. Another PIXI partner up. Another week gone by. Absolutely loved it, mate. Good stuff.
Bloody right.
Rise Random's a bit different, mate. I'll let you something completely different from this next time. But this will be making a return, 60-second par. So we'll see how that goes and what forfeits I make next time and what they may be. So I'll definitely shake forfeits up. They won't always be sort of food based.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate.
They can be anything based. So yes, thank you very much for listening, and we'll move on to the thought of the day and the end of the show. Just for that, obviously, thank you. Oh, you stopping, Sean? No, okay, we're carrying on. Basically, thanks for coming, mate. Again,
all the time,
literally.
Always here, mate.
Buzzing. Really looking forward to Mario Tennis Aces together. I'm interested to see where that goes or what direction that goes in. And not being funny, maybe you got to step up in Apex. Bronze
I have got to step it up.
Bronze ain't good enough, mate. You know, it's not. Speaking of par, mate, you're well below it in Apex.
Yeah, but
you know,
mate.
No pressure. But we'll find out also next week where Luke is in Apex and where I am. Once you get to gold as well, you can't go back down, which is cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, but obviously anywhere higher, then you can go back down to gold. But once you're at gold, that's it. You can once you've got to gold, you're like over a hill that you can then
actually work on. Oh, okay.
And that is so grim in my mouth, mate. It's really horrible.
Give that a good bite as well.
Well, you gave your first one a good bite.
Yeah, but then
Elvis left the building.
Like, oh, yeah, this is. No, I can't.
Well, I'd have made it look enjoyable, mate. I hope you wash down your courgette and ginger paste with this podcast. But we move on to the thought of the day at the end of the show. And the thought of the day this week is gaming. It's actually quite cool. I really like this quote, but it's not anything inspirational or anything like that. But I just thought it was really, really cool. And is that gaming is like dreaming with your eyes open, which is super, super cool. I thought that was a cool little quote.
I like that.
And that's very much how I feel. But yeah, I love video games. I love podcasting. I love Luke. Good chat. And we'll be back as soon as possible. So thank you very much.